I want to drill down on where you actually pull the trigger. When do you buy? Exactly when do you put the money on the line? When do you strike? All right, how to enter your trades like a pro. Here we go. Boom. So we've got our narrow state here. Now look at the 20-period moving average, look at the 200, look at the narrow state, and let's assume this is the first bar starting above that narrow state. All right, so we've got that narrow state. Now it doesn't matter whether the narrow state is with the 20 below the 200 or the 20 above the 200. That doesn't matter as much as just the simple space. All right, sometimes the 200 is going to be beneath the 200, the 20, and sometimes it's going to be above. It doesn't make a difference, really. Very little difference. All right, it's the space that matters, the narrow state that matters. Now, let's assume that this green bar you see has just started trading. It's not 2 minutes yet. It's just started. It's like 20 seconds. All right, and let's say it continues. You're watching it and you're like, wow, that's a beautiful opening position. It's right above the narrow state and it's starting to form green. Boom, it's now formed more green. Now, at this particular point, saliva will begin to drip down the corners of your mouth. Now, this can be a problem because you don't want the saliva getting in your keyboard, on your computer. So you got to prepare for this, because as that green bar grows, as it's being born from that narrow state, your heart's going to pump a little bit faster. The saliva is going to start flowing. Your pupils are going to start dilating a little bit, and you're going to go into almost freaking attack mode, pounce mode, like a leopard. All right? Just don't wipe until you get in the trade. See, I teach my traders, all right, have the computer away from your saliva, let it fall, don't wipe until you're in the trade. When you're in the trade, you have earned the right to wipe. Do not wipe before, because you might miss the trade. All right, let the saliva fall. Wipe after entry. As a matter of fact, let's write that down. Entry comes first. Wiping comes second. Write it down. All right. Yeah. So what? All right. So this is not the point, but where is the point? I want that point right. Boom! Now it's unquestionable. You see, before we had small green, we had normal green, but when we go beyond normal, that's all I need. Boom, I'm entering inside that bar. Now remember, that's a 2-minute bar, guys. It might be 1 minute and 45 seconds into the bar. Boom, I'm striking into that bar. It might be 1 minute and 55 seconds. It might be 1 minute and 30 seconds. At once it crosses, once it's clear to me, that's no normal green. That's not normal. That's more than normal. That's more than just a regular green bar. That's more than a small bar. That's more than a normal green. Boom! Now it's unquestionably not normal. And that might be 1 minute, 50 seconds. But dive into the bar. Dive into the bar if you can. If it has reached the point in your mind where that's not normal anymore, dive into it. Don't let it get away. All right, now we dive into that bar. That's entry one. But what if you missed that? Oh, Oliver, I missed it. I get that from my traders all the time. I'm like, but why did you miss it? Didn't it just grow in front of your eyes? No, Oliver, I was focused on another play and this one got past me. Okay, well, here's your second opportunity. Buy 1 penny above the bar you missed. Buy into the second bar if it crosses the high of the first bar. That's your second opportunity to enter. The preferable one is to buy into the bar that clearly suggests it's not normal, that it's your perfect bar. But if you miss it, then buy 1 penny above the bar you missed. Also, if the first bar doesn't quite make it to normal, if the first bar doesn't quite make it to extra, to that more than normal, if it stays normal, then you can enter above the high of a normal bar. So let's assume that this bar is actually normal. All right, let me do it for you. Let's assume that it didn't get so big and it stayed more normal. Well, if that's the case, like that, so it stayed more normal, now our entry is to buy the next bar that clears the high. Boom, right there. So now, boom, we enter that one. And we do it as soon as it supersedes the high of the first bar. We don't need this bar to finish because it might finish all the way up here. So we don't want that bar to finish. We just say, listen, if you keep going past this normal one, I'm jumping your bones. You got it? Boom. But in this case, we get the abnormal run up. Boom, we enter this bar. If we've missed it, we enter the next one above the high. And if it's normal, we enter above the high like this. Let me go back to the previous slide with this. I think that's the better thing to do. So if it stays normal, then our entry becomes the next bar here. You see? Boom. Okay? But if this second bar actually happens on top of this bar, it's like the second bar is happening early, right? That's when you get this. Boom. That's almost like the second bar, right? That potentially was going to happen over here is just happening early. It's happening on top. That's why we're entering it. Because we're looking at that extra green as if it is actually producing a second bar early. Boom! That's why I want to be inside of that bar. When it gets to the place where that's just not a normal bar, that's more than a normal bar. It's already started printing its second bar. I'm in. And this scenario hasn't started printing its second bar yet. Boom, you got it. Enter. If you miss it, enter the second one.